Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Friday, August 12th, 2022, and tonight I'll be covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all the episodes of the podcast along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or uh, stories of experiences, whether of the paranormal, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show at some point to talk about them. And we can always arrange for times to record and do the show other than the usual, in case that is something we need to do. So tonight, again, covering paranormal news. Just a couple of little things. Tomorrow night, I will be on Trouble Minds Radio. That's Trouble Minds Radio with Michael Strange. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, on Sunday, I'll be covering true paranormal stories from the web. So, and then Wednesday will be probably another book review episode, I believe. So, let's see here. I think that's everything for now, and that'll take care of that. So I've got some stories here. I've already put them all in the chat, and of course I'll include them in the episode description on both YouTube and on the podcast feed. So you can find all of those there, and I definitely recommend looking into them more because I just sort of summarize what I can from them and move on. And of course, there's pictures in there that don't obviously won't translate to video or to audio. I am not nearly technical enough to do a video show with those images, so that's why this is only audio. Audio is enough to deal with. So anyway, so I guess I will get started on this here. I've got a good mix of stories this time. There's a couple UFO related, couple ancient civilizations, and then a good collection of other paranormal articles here. So found the last of these just this afternoon, actually. So this first one is from fox13now.com, and this one is the title is "Calls of UFO After Strange Light Seen Over Utah." And let me see if I can find the author. I'm not. Oh wait, there we go. This is by Jeff Tavs. I'm not sure if I'm saying that last name right. But this is from, again, happened in Utah, and basically there's this video, and it's in the article of this glowing light over northern Utah, and it was just before sunset, and apparently this was seen by several people. What I found strange about this is the article describes the light appearing to be two cylinders that were attached to each other. So it's not your usual disc or triangle, or it's an odd shape, and that's something that is super common, I don't believe. And so let's see here. Apparently they're saying that this was a fleet of balloons, part of a fleet of balloons. Now I didn't see that part earlier, so that could explain it. But I do wonder when these strange shapes appear, if it's always what the regular or logical explanation is, if there's ways for these things to disguise themselves as similar objects. So I apologize for that. But these kind of sightings are always neat to find and talk about, if nothing else. Um, so that's it for that article. Since they already had an explanation for it, but that happens, and I'm sure it'll happen again. But so we'll just move on to the next one. This one here uh, is really amazing in a way. This is from express.co.uk, and the title of this one is, let's see here, London UFO Mystery. 279-year-old file found on first of its kind site over Westminster. So this is basically a description of a UFO flying over London. And these descriptions of this were found in a Royal Society journal from 1746. It says back when King George II reigned. This is by Anthony Ashkenaz. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So this says that on December 16th, 1742, a physician, last name Mortimer, reported spotting a UFO flying over central London. At the time, Mortimer was secretary of this Royal Society, and the description says it slowly moved along above St. James's Park while he was on a walk home to Westminster at 8:40 p.m. And says he recorded that the object was flying very slowly, which meant that he had about a half a minute to get a clear look at it. And let's see here. Looking into this more. Uh, just the age of this account is just really amazing, and I think there are probably more and more of these that will surface over time. And I feel like there's always been strange things in the sky, and it's just a matter of how and when these sightings are recorded, and I feel like there's probably been things in the sky for a long time. So, let's see here. So apparently, it it was displaying the ability to turn and all that too. So really neat article here, and it has pictures and everything. So really amazing. Just a sighting, report of a sighting of something unidentified in the sky. I think even going back to before there were, I believe this is before any of those. There could have been any kind of airships. I believe at least this is before that was super common or well documented. So really amazing article there. Um, so and that's it for that one. Again, these all definitely recommend checking out these articles. Um, this next one is from ancient-origins.net. And this website really does have a lot of great articles. They appear on a regular basis on these shows because of the things that they talk about in these articles. And the title of this one is The Alien Petroglyphs of Chiles Valley. Let me see here. The Enchanted Valley in English, anyway. I'm not good enough at Spanish to or any other language to try to say that name. And this is, let's see here. This is looking for the. So the author appears to be, doesn't even display the author's name. So Raphael as the first name on there. But so it talks about this valley that is one of the most well-known rock art sites in Chile. Um, and it says that there are many of these images that are have been carved into stones, and it says these have been attributed to people from 2,300 years ago. So this is going back um, 300 years almost BC. And there's even or thoughts and ideas that maybe they come back from earlier, uh, and that they are records. They're actually more of records, not just art of a a visit from ancient aliens to Earth during prehistoric times. So that's an amazing idea, and you hear about this on TV shows. Obviously, the one that what they mentioned in there, um, kind of they didn't really use capital letters, but still there. Um, this idea of all these ancient drawings and carvings, they appear to show what almost appear to be aliens, and it's really an amazing idea. I like to think that maybe that's what happened. Of course, who knows? But it seems like there are these kind of images all over the world of different kinds of things too. So let's see here. I'm looking more in this article. Uh, I think let's see here. I think I might let the rest of this go. Let you all read this more. Um, basically covered the idea that I found interesting about this. So I guess we can move on. So let's see here. This next one is from EgyptToday.com, and let's see here. This is this article is the title is "How Did Ancient Civilizations Perceive the Stars?" And the last name of the author on here is Marie, and so this talks about how uh, different cultures saw and thought of and observed the different shapes of stars at night from and use those in everything from creation myths to mythical characters and godlike animals, depending on the sighting. Um, says that some of these references go back thousands of years and possibly older. And this article says that they're early examples of humanity's preconception with symbolism in the world around them. Um, so, and talks about how different cultures interpret the same things in different ways. So, neat idea there. Let's see here. People it says that cultures all over the world organize stars into constellations or um, of single stars. I think that this says or, but I think I mean of. But and it mentions there are similarities um, in these constellations and groupings. Uh, and this is all according to authors of a research paper that was recently published in the Journal of Psychological Science. So, and this is where also going back to the idea of these shapes of animals and objects and people, even in some cases. So, neat idea there, neat article, and goes into more detail. And I'll let you all check out the rest of that on your own. So let's see here. Now we're moving into out of the UFO and ancient civilization section of this show to the more uh, ghostly or paranormal side of things. Oops, I just did something. I don't know why I did. Okay, I think I just made a separate window out of that one tab, which I did not mean to do, but that'll still work. So, let me just check on everything here in chat. Uh, so, okay, so I'm just reading the chat here. New arrival to the server, Brindle. Thank you for joining today. Says 1783 was when the first hot air balloon was invented. So that story about the Royal Society sighting predates the balloon. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. I hadn't thought to look into that before. So yeah, that's what I was thinking though, is that it was before any kind of flying objects that were that we that the humans have made yet. So that makes that story even more amazing. So thank you for that information. Um, and let's see here. Yes, Saturday content, Derek. Yeah, that should be. I always enjoy talking with Mike, both off air and then on his show. Again, that's Troubled Minds Radio, and that'll be tomorrow night. If you're listening to this on the day it's recorded, which is August 13th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. So, um, and I will include a link to their website in the description, just because I like to do that when I can. So, um, lucky 13. Um, so, all right, I'll get back to these stories here. Yeah, somehow I just by clicking on that one tab, I somehow moved it out of the main window and into its own window. Don't know how I did that, but oh well. So this next article is from chroniclesnews.com, and this article is called Anna Baker Dress. Know the true story behind her haunted wedding dress. And this comes back to something that you hear about every so often when it comes to ghost stories about objects, about spirits possibly, or even just maybe even not necessarily consciousness, but there being energy that is surrounded, but that surrounds or is absorbed by objects, and this includes can include clothes. It seems anyway. Um, and but so this article mentions uh, this dress within this Baker mansion, and it says the Baker Mansion is a museum at this point, but it was home to the Baker family, Elias Baker and his wife, uh, back in the day, it says Anna. So apparently they had 3 kids, 2 sons and 1 daughter. And the daughter, oh, I'm sorry. So the wife was not named Anna. Doesn't say the wife's name here so far. The daughter was Anna Baker. And so Anna's father, it says, was wealthy and owned a steel business. And as in so many of these stories, the way this so often goes, I mean, countless ghost stories, it seems. This story says that Anna fell in love with uh, one of the workers for her father's company, and of course, the father, Elias, disapproved of this due to the class system in place at the time. Uh, and so it says that after Anna couldn't marry this worker, she decided to confine herself within the house. Says that when her father died, Anna went to this man again, But at this point, he was already had already found someone else, and um, there was no way to change to be married to him as she had wanted before. Um, and so says that according to this legend, this took a toll on her mental health. Um, so, and she was proclaimed by neighbors anyway to be insane. Of course, who knows for sure? Uh, and let's see here. So apparently, she at some point there was a wedding dress made for her, and um, she would wear it while dancing around in the halls of the mansion. And apparently, that's part of where the sighting comes in, is that, or the ghost story comes in, is that she's still spotted moving around this mansion, or at least an image of her, or her spirit possibly, who knows for sure. But this idea that these objects um, that are important to people, um, it's you can find them all over the place, and even in some cases where, um, again, the dress is being held at this mansion. It's behind glass and everything, but there are still apparitions of Anna seen wearing the dress. So, um, just a neat little, I mean, sad story, but neat story there about the dress and the sightings. And yeah, just had to share that because that just seems to be a fairly common thing, whether it's clothes or in some cases rings, anything that seems to be made of metal sometimes can we've all probably heard about that can contain energy. So um, just thought I'd share that one. So let's see here. Go on to the next one. Uh, yeah, so Derek says I get nervous about buying stuff from thrift or antique stores because I'm afraid it'll come with a hitchhiker. Yeah, and there are stories of that too. People either buying or finding things that seem like they would look perfect in their home, and then they bring it home, and then weird things start to happen. So, and that's not, of course, I mean, that's not to say that that's the way it's going to be with every single thing out there. I think there'd be a lot more stories of that then. Um, so, but it does happen. So, as I always would say anyway, I just if you get any weird feelings from whatever you're looking at taking or buying, taking, if you find it somewhere out in the open, whatever. But either way, if you're getting weird feelings from an object, you might want to stay away from it and not take it anywhere with you. Um, just to be safe. If you don't get any weird feelings from it, then the chances are better that it's probably okay. But again, I don't claim to know anything for sure. This is all just thoughts based on listening to and reading so many accounts of the paranormal and people's experiences. So, but yeah, thought that was a neat story. So we'll go on to the next one here. This is about another mansion. This is this website is walesonline.co.uk. That's WALES. And now this one, just the title alone to me is amazing. And this says the haunted mansion where 15 ghosts roam the grounds. That's a lot of that just makes me wonder right off the bat, how did they figure out how many and how that just I just don't understand how anyone can figure that out unless they are psychic. I guess this is articles by Corey David, I believe. I think it's an O. Yeah, it looks like an O. So, um, and this is about a mansion in Wales that was built in 1610. That's 412 years old. Um, and this article is talking about this uh, this place, which is the name of the mansion is, I'm not sure how you say this exactly. It's PLAS is the first word, and then TEG, and it's in Flintshire between the towns of uh, Mold. And then Wrexham, I think. Again, these are all in the UK, so I apologize if I'm not saying these names right. Says that this mansion has been featured in many TV shows. Now, of course, that doesn't. That's take that as you will. I'll just say that. Although it's kind of ironic in a way that because I have a story that touches on that subject near the end of the show today. So, so this article talks more about the various spirits that are said to be there. Says that two of the ghosts are a couple that plan to elope before they pass. Um, Dorothy, and then so there's a spirit named Dorothy that haunts uh, this road that runs past the site. And stories again going back to this pattern. The story is that Dorothy fell in love with a local farmer's son. Um, and of course, her father did not approve. Again, probably going back to some kind of class system. Excuse me, system. And said no, and told her that to stop seeing him. Um, and of course, she didn't listen. Uh, and she planned to elope with this farmer's son. And so let's see here. Says that on uh, let's see here. Says that on the night of her leaving of running off to visit to be with her this man that she loved, uh, she slipped and fell down the well to her death due to the darkness. This is according to the story and reports um, about this spirit of this young woman that's believed to be Dorothy, searching for the man that she ran off to be with. Um, so let's see here. There's more here about other spirits, but the main thing about this article is just this idea that there's it's been figured out that there are this many spirits on this in this property. So there's a lot more there. So I'll let y'all read the rest of that. But let's see here. So this next one is from, let's see here, WKDQ.com. And the title of this one is Evansville's Willard Library. Let's see, shares eerie ghost cam footage. So again, this is another video. And apparently there's this fairly well-known spirit known as the Gray Lady that is said to haunt this library. And I believe I've heard of this one here. But I'm not sure. It doesn't say where this is. Um, but but there's this footage apparently of this figure that is seen here. And I'm trying to find if it does have the footage or not. But still, this article says that people from all over go to this library, and also look at this. Apparently, there are live camera feeds where this library will stream different images or camera feeds of this library 24/7, and people can watch these feeds to see if they can spot this gray lady. And so let's see here. Apparently, this video seemingly shows a book falling off of a shelf for no reason. I don't know how I feel about a library that does that. I mean, in a way, it's amazing. In a way, I wonder how much of it is. Okay, so apparently this is in Indiana. Um, part of me, but part of me is also just I worry about it being either exploited if it is real, or if it's not real, then that's a lot of attention that's being put on this library. Um, I don't know. I guess it's hard to say without more details on the exact situation. But and I'm looking. I don't see the actual footage, but it may still be there, and I just haven't found it. So definitely check out this article and see for yourself. But I don't doubt that there are things that are caught on these live video feeds. I just always wonder about that because that's those cameras and those kind of feeds. That takes some work and uh some money to set up all the cameras and everything, and at least that's what it seems like to me. So could be wrong. Always love to hear what you all have to say as far as in the text channel here, and of course, you can contact me through Discord or through email. Um, and that email would be salcedoparanormal@gmail.com. So, um, yeah, looks like a scene from the original Ghostbusters. Yeah. Um, but let me see here. So, yeah, that's that article. And we'll go on to the next. We've only got a couple more here. Let's see here. Yeah, three more to go. Um, so this next one is from uh 710 or 710keel.com. Um, so let's see here. This one is this one is neat as well in a way. This one, the title is "Haunting in Louisiana?" Question mark. Motion camera captures spooky visitor. This is from Aaron McCarty. Um, and this is about this footage that has apparently been found by both a home's security camera and also by a group of paranormal investigators and their own equipment afterwards. So this is neat in a way. This I did see the footage of this one, and it appears to be a figure standing in a doorway or by a doorway. And there's even multiple images of this. So um, again, this is a home, so I don't really want to get into a ton of details regarding the place, but still, this is just a neat couple of images there that have been shared in this article. And this is where I think, um, again, there's always that possibility of things being staged, but in this case, I kind of feel like this is more of a possibly a real thing, uh, just based on the story and everything. So, and again, the fact that it's a home, and and that this figure was caught, similar figure was caught by two different cameras. So, um, so yeah, neat little sighting there. So we're down to the last two articles here. This one I actually found the article this article is referencing, but it was paywalled. I couldn't even get to the rest of it. So this article here that I'll talk about is about that other article. And this one is from screenshot-media.com. And this is kind of why I laughed a little bit when I mentioned TV shows. Because this article, the title is Ghost Hunter Tells All on Top Tricks Paranormal TV Shows Use to Fool Both Viewers and Victims. And this is by Alma Fabiani. Not sure if I'm saying that name right. So this article mentions that surveys in the past have shown a large part of the world's population believe in ghosts, and so let's see here. It mentions that some scholars think that we're experiencing a revival in paranormal beliefs in these times in Western society, and but then this article is talking about someone who let's see here, paranormal investigator and writer that has been featured on, let's see here, TV shows. Apparently, they've been featured on Ghost Hunters. I was not aware of this. I'm not sure how you say their name. Gadalari is their last. Gadalari. That was their last name. But either way, this is amazing to me because this is someone who does believe in this. I believe, as far as I can tell, believe that the paranormal is real, and what they're talking about here is that on TV shows there are there are things that are done by people, um, various people within networks and things to fake activity, and so let's see here. I'm just going to looking here, uh, and this mentions here that um, these tricks that are mentioned in this other article are used not just on the viewers, but possibly even on paranormal investigators. And so I'm just trying to get to the part that talks about the actual tricks. Um, so it says that, let's see here, just trying to scan through more of this. Um, so it mentions that these devices that are used by paranormal investigators can be altered, and or the activity that is found on them can be uh, interpreted in different ways. So, and goes into some of these the devices use REM pods, which are detect energy fields. Just other things. I just thought this was amazing in a way that this investigator and writer um, reached out to a media outlet and put out this their story of their experiences. Again, more details in this article, and I'm glad that they did this actually because I think it's important. And I always talk about how I don't watch those shows, but I don't have a problem with them as being entertainment, I guess, in a way. Just so that everyone knows, but I don't think everyone does, that what they see on these paranormal investigation shows, there's no way to know for sure if any of it is real. How much is real, how much is not. And so just for anyone that hasn't heard me before talk about this, just keep in mind these paranormal investigation shows. I would just recommend always looking at them as entertainment, but not necessarily as what um, real investigations. Just in case, because it's hard to know unless you're there. What how much is real and how much is faked and how much is exaggerated and all those various degrees of all that. So just want to make sure I shared that tonight. So, and then going from that to this last article here. This is from luxurytraveladvisor.com. And I'll get into this one in just one moment. I'm going to get some water because I can hear my voice is kind of getting scratchy. So, one moment. Sorry about that. I am back. Um, So I thought this last article was really neat, and I didn't look into it just so I'd be surprised by some of what they're talking about in here. And this article, the title is Historic Hotels of America names 25 most haunted hotels. This is by Newsdesk, so I guess no way to credit the individual writer, but or the actual writer for sure. But let's just I'm gonna skim through this account here, see which places I've heard of before. And I definitely recommend checking out this article. It's going to be a longer one just because of all the. That's a lot of places. So I'm looking. Okay, this first one I think I've heard of here. This is the Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, and so this is place. This place here. Apparently, the 14th floor is where there's been the most activity. And guest room 301 is known to be a haunted hotspot as well. It says housekeepers, staff, and guests have claimed to see a ghostly young girl carrying flowers and a man in a top hat. I wonder if that's a man in a top hat as in they can see all of his features, or is it more of um a shadow figure? Let's see here. Looking through more of this. I think I talked about this one in another article last week, I believe. 1886 Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Um, this is the place with the where the waters were said to heal people, and the owner may have the original owner may have caused the death of some of the people that went there. Um, let's see here. This article says here that recently a couple reportedly scattered their loose change around the room on tabletops, nightstands, and other things. And they said shortly before leaving downstairs in the crystal dining room. Oh, it says that they did that just before leaving for dinner downstairs. When they came back, they found their coins had been neatly reorganized in stacks of quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies, and all placed together on top of their dresser. That's pretty amazing if that was actually some force doing that. It says guests have also reported seeing, um, let's see here, Norman Baker. But I'm guessing that's the. Let's see here. I'm looking at trying to find. Yeah, okay. The original owner, the one that set up the hotel to begin with, that again was not totally honest and made promises he couldn't exactly keep. It seems, based on what I'm reading. The spirit of this man has been seen, and he's been seen as an apparition in a purple shirt, a white linen suit, uh, and he's been seen in the hotel lobby, and he's been his apparition appears in some of the same clothes as he is wearing in photos of him. So so yeah, there's that one. Let me see if I can find one more here that I can talk about, and then we'll be done. But let's see here. Gonna scan a little bit more. Okay, I have heard of this one. This is Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California. This is and this is related to this fairly famous now at this point spirit or apparition of Kate Morgan, uh, who arrived on Thanksgiving Day in 1892. According to hotel employees, it says she said she was waiting for a gentleman to join her. And According to the legend here, after 5 days of waiting, she took her own life. I don't know for sure if that's verified or not, that whole story. But after that, an apparition of her has been seen in this area, both in the hotel and also on the beach nearby. So, um, very very interesting sighting there. So again, this has a whole bunch of hotels in it. Um, so I definitely recommend reading the article in full and checking out all of them. There's 25 there, so that's a lot of ghost stories, if nothing else. And that covers everything for today. And let's see here, looking at the chat here, and see here, just gonna skim through some of this again. I was thinking about that. Derek says, "I wonder if the 14th floor is actually the 13th, but they took the 13th, took it out." Yeah, because hotels will do that. They won't label the 13th floor the 13th floor. They'll go right to 14. Um, okay, so and so yeah, that's neat. Apoc there says she's been there, so that's pretty. I'd love to go to some of these places. I'd love to go traveling to all these places and check them out. Um, so yeah, that's it for today. Again, tomorrow night, uh, over on Trouble Minds Radio, I'll be joining Michael Strange on a bonus show over there, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, and so that should be fun. And then Sunday will be True Paranormal Stories from the Web. So thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all, at least on this show, on Sunday, on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal.